Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, Governor Sanwo-Olu delivers 16th housing project, Lagos holds 9th Climate Change Summit, and update on Ikorodu-Ekpe Road projects. We're beginning from the housing sector. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has commissioned the 16th housing project called the Channels Point. The scheme is a 38-unit apartment in Victoria Island, all in a bid to reduce the deficit in Lagos. The Governor, Sanwo-Olu, promises to deliver more housing projects before the end of the year.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is at Victoria Island to commission Channels Point Apartments, the 16th housing project completed in the last 3 years of his administration. The housing scheme, located at Sinari Daranijo Street, Victoria Island, is built on a land size of 2,832 square meters in a serene environment for the benefit of Lagosians. The project is jointly developed by the Lagos State Development and Property Corporation and Brook Assets and Resources Limited to reduce the housing deficit in Lagos.
It consists of 2 blocks of 38 units, 2 and 3 bedroom flats on a land size of 2,832 square meters. Here on these 2 plots of land, we add bungalows that house just 2 different families. We are glad that through this joint venture, we are able to deliver 38 family residential units of commensurate value and quality. Under the administration of Mr. Governor, we have completed and delivered some joint venture projects, such as Scotland Luxury Villa, Bayview Estate, and Lekki Apartments, all in the Lekki area of Lagos. In the next 18 months, we hope to deliver other joint ventures projects, including Iconic Towers, Ilopeju Gardens, Amazing Grace, and Kefi Suites. We are elated about the fact that our partnership with the private sector is really yielding positive results in the interest of the good people of Lagos State.
It is a luxury accommodation for the comfort of the Alatees.
We're here to show gratitude, sir, to the Executive Governor of Lagos State for initiating this, allowing us to partake in the story of making Lagos State a 21st century economy. Thank you, sir. That is highly appreciated and applaudable. Thank you. Then with our partner, LSDPC, what can I say? LSDPC didn't just sign this project and leave us. They were here with us every day. They were here with us through the thick and thin. The days that we were smiling, the days we were crying, they were with us. Thank you so much.
The Oniru of Iruland, Oba Abdulwasiu Lawal, commended the state government for providing affordable housing scheme for the people.
I can recollect that I've been to over 5 housing projects or delivery that the governor commissioned in the last 3.5 years. I mean, for somebody that has done so much in the housing delivery, that has done so much in other sectors, such a person demands a second time. And by the grace of Almighty Allah and the good people of Lagos, let us look at how we can improve on the land value capture concept. I asked the MD of LSDPC that what was there before? Just 2 duplexes and 2 bungalows. Look at what we have today, 38 units. Addressing the problem Mr. Ashogbamu went through, the idea of sprawling of Lagos, moving from to Lagos Central. We all know the challenges. The more reason why I've always been advocating for a compact, coordinated, and connected Lagos. With that, we'll be able to reduce the travel time, we'll be able to increase on our productivity, we'll be able to do a whole lot. For me, any government, I'm happy NPA management, they are also here. There are so many federal government properties that are just there that needs to be upgraded. This is a good opportunity for all of us. Let us upgrade, let us add value to those projects that are almost abandoned.
Governor Sanwo-Olu says the urban renewal agenda for Lagos is still on course, and the goal is to provide modern housing for residents.
Today is about the Channel Point Apartments, which I was humbled to have initiated several years ago. Ms. Lanre, as she said, she stood her ground. She competed with other developers at that time. But our design and our commitment stood out. I think this is the 15th or the 16th housing project that we have handed over to our citizens. And I want to assure you that there's still a whole lot more that we'll have. Before the end of this year, I'm sure the Ministry of Housing itself has about 4 projects, major projects, handing over hundreds of flats of apartments to our citizens. Before the end of the year, we've challenged them to ensure that they complete 3 or 4 projects, and these will be handed over to the stock of housing that we have in Lagos State. We're not just building, we're ensuring that we build affordable housing that meets different strata of our citizens, from the low budget to the medium budget to beautiful apartments like this in the heart of Victoria Island. We're building houses, like they said, in Victoria Island. We're building in Ikorodu. We're building in Ekpe. We're building in Badagry. We're building in Lupeju. We're building in Surulere. We're building in Ikota. Almost all nooks and crannies of Lagos State is undergoing one major housing project or the other. And as we pursue this housing agenda, we are rigorously pursuing a comprehensive urban renewal. And it speaks to what the Kabiyesi said. Lagos continues to remain home to over 22, 23 million people, and the number is growing on a daily basis. And so we need to think out of the box. We need to be very, very rational, and we need to be very strategic and ensure that we can have a workable urban renewal project. Finally, is to assure you that this government remains committed at completing all of our projects. The Fourth Mainland Bridge, we did not promise it during our campaign, but we want to make it a topping for Lagos State's indigents. It's a 37-kilometer, it's like an M25, that will take you out from Lagos and will take you finally up onto the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. It's a 37-kilometer ring road. We're at the final stage, and we are working with the final 3 bidders on that project. We're hoping and we're praying that before the end of this year, we will have done groundbreaking and will have turned the sword for the commencement of the construction of the Fourth Mainland Bridge. And that will make a complete turnaround on all of our commitments. But just to also mention, since we're talking about road, that on Lekki-Ekpe Express Road, people forget that from Eleko Junction to Ekpe 2 years ago was completely impassable. Completely impassable. Your government has turned that road to a 6-lane rigid pavement. We have completed 18.7 kilometers from Eleko Junction to Ekpe. And very soon, we're inviting number 1 citizens to come and, with other things, come and commission it for us.
The mini estate has modern facilities such as water treatment plant, LPG reticulation service, a fitness gym, swimming pool, rooftop cinema, sit-out space, and 2 elevators per block.
Now we turn our attention to the environmental sector. In order to make the city safe for residents, the Lagos State government says it has embarked on the journey of updating its development plan, incorporating climate adaptation and mitigation components in each sector. The State Deputy Governor, Kadri Hamzat, made this comment at the 9th Lagos International Climate Change Summit. He says part of the steps taken is the building of groins to protect the 555 hectares of land in Victoria Island that would have disappeared under the Atlantic Ocean since 2010.
Enduring peace and security in our environment.
It's the 9th edition of the Lagos International Climate Change Summit at Victoria Island. The State Deputy Governor, Kadri Hamzat, state officials, international representatives, environmental experts, and others are here to deliberate on how to integrate climate actions in Lagos. The State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources highlights the climate adaptation and resilience plan for Lagos.
Distinguished guests, let me remind you that Lagos is the only state in the country that has developed and commenced the implementation of the Climate Action Plan in Nigeria. This plan highlighted 26 initiatives across adaptation and mitigation actions to advance a sustainable low-carbon economy in our quest to achieve net zero by year 2050. The Climate Action Plan has opened a new frontier of funding opportunities for adaptation projects in the state. It may interest you to know that the state government, through the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources, has signed up to £50 million UK Climate Action Implementation Program, which will support cities to accelerate implementation from their climate action plans. In a short while, Lagos will be benefiting from these funds in the energy and waste sectors.
For stakeholders in the environmental sector, addressing climate change emergency is a collective effort.
The World Bank has said that by the turn of the century, there will be 100 million people in Lagos. That's 4 times the number of people in Lagos today. The need to invest in resilience infrastructure is pertinent. We should have started 50 years ago, but like the philosophy around the planting of trees, the best time to do it was years ago, but the next best time is now. It's never too late to start. With all the efforts that the state have put into combating climate change, the commitment to net zero by 2050, not 2060, as Nigeria is committed to, because Lagos must always lead the way. There's one more thing we must do, though, Mr. Deputy Governor, Mr. Commissioner. It is time to launch the Lagos Green Fund. Let's start with $1 billion, with participation from all private sector organizations in Lagos, multilateral organizations, intergovernmental organizations, and other global funds like Danida. It is time for Lagos to actively begin to design projects that have transformative impact on mitigation and adaptation.
For us at UNIDO, UNIDO is the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. We will continue to support Lagos State. Lagos State has proven to be a state that works with partners, that appreciates partnership, and is ready for development. And with this, we will continue to work with Lagos State, and we are also hoping that this event will give an opportunity for those of us that are here as experts and as policymakers to come up with robust suggestions for the advancement of climate action in Lagos State.
The Netherlands government says the COVID-19 pandemic is related to climate change and should not be taken for granted.
Let us not forget Nigeria and Lagos are still recovering from the economic consequences of COVID. If COVID taught us anything, it is that nobody is safe until we are all safe. And this truth applies with the same certainty to our changing climate and the need to adapt to it. And now. After working for nearly 3 years in Lagos, I asked myself, what do Lagosians and Dutch have in common? First, of course, is their spirit, their good sense of humor, the entrepreneurial approach and skills, and their willingness to innovate, to ensure Lagos will be a dynamic and sustainable hub, not only for Nigeria, but for Western Africa.
And the Deputy Governor, Kadri Hamzat, says the State 5-Year Climate Action Plan 2020-2025 has created more resilience for Lagos.
So there are many initiatives that has come out of this summit. For example, LASPAC was an offshoot of one of the summit that stated and recommended that Lagos State should create an agency that's responsible for our parks, their growth trees. That's how LASPAC came into being. BRT was also one of the things that came out from various summits, Betty, and of course this one. Building of groins to protect our environment. A lot of people don't know that Victoria Island will have disappeared. Victoria Island, 555 hectares of land, will have disappeared by 2010 if we did not do what we did. And so when people say, oh, what is Lagos doing? We are doing a lot. We are mitigating, but we are also encouraging adaptation. Because that Atlantic Ocean that is here is also the Atlantic Ocean in London. It's part of the Atlantic Ocean in UK. And as such, whatever happens there, when that snow melts, 18 days later, it's coming to Lagos. So it's not just what we do here, it's what the world does. In just a year, I can say with great confidence that the Lagos Climate Action Plan has started to deliver great and impactful rewards, including attracting the attention of critical supporters and partners. For example, there is a recently awarded grant for the future cities of Nigeria by the UK government to the Lagos State Waterways Authority to improve the ferry services of the state. That's because of the studies that we carried out that showed clearly that we need to reduce transportation by road, improve our rail transportation, which we are moving on, and then, of course, water transportation.
Deliberations reached at this summit are expected to provide more solutions for Lagos State government to better adapt to climate impact.
Finally on the program is road infrastructure. There are several road projects ongoing in Lagos, and the state government has promised to complete all for the benefit of Lagosians. The Special Advisor on Works and Infrastructure, Aramide Adeoye, gave an update on the different stages of projects in Ikorodu, Ekpe, Alimosho, as well as other areas.
Traffic management and transportation is top on the list of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's agenda. The state government is making efforts to reduce travel time by constructing road projects in Alimosho, Ikorodu, Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, Ojota-Okpebi Flyover, Regional Road, the railway project, among others. The construction of 4 road networks in Alimosho area cuts across Babafemi Dada with a bridge, Yinka Folari, Jami Olawal, and Shalom Academy Road. For several years, residents of Idowu Egba community have been denied good roads, but the administration of Governor Sanwo-Olu has come to their aid. The Special Advisor on Works and Infrastructure explains why the project was delayed.
There are 2 bridges over water in Alimosho. They call it Okoloyin Bridge, and there's another one called Captain Idowu Egba. There are 2 mini bridges. Communities are over water. Something went viral, and it was like, Lagos State government, you're not doing this. But unknown to most people, it had been captured in the database of Ministry of Works. But there's always a due process between when you capture, when you do your Reiki survey, when you award, and then when it goes into funding, there's a process. I was on that site on Saturday, and I was impressed because the second piloting test was being conducted. The drains had already started. The drain work had already commenced for almost about 250 meters. Even the test load piles had been done. You could see the backfill and the amount of work that the contractor had done in the bridge area, ready to cross over. And of course, once you've done all of the piling and your power cap, with precast beams, you can launch. When you leave that side of Alimosho, you come even to Koshofe. Koshofe, we are almost rounding up the bridge that crosses that takes you from on the main expressway. You can take it as a detour back to Odota. It's called Ogudu Link Bridge Road. So there's one church just by the side road. You take it, you see the decompiler, and you cross over. the enormous number of roads that the state government is undertaking. I do not think, and I want to be very humble about it, I do not see an administration that's taking so much, a quantum in a COVID year, with all of the negative winds, and you're still pushing to succeed. And hoping that the commissioning ceremony for the phase 1 of the Lekki Ekpe Expressway would happen at the same time with Obashekumade. I think that's a plan that would happen. The contractor is about 95% stage. What they're doing now is the road furnitures, the street lights, but the real carriageway from Ekpe Junction to Eleko Junction is done, 18.75. So the phase 2 of the project is the next one from Eleko Junction back towards Mebamade Sonya, where the 4th Mainland Bridge will kick off. So you can see the systematic way that you are doing it. And we thought ahead of this to say, given all of the commercial economic activities on that corridor, if you don't begin to do something with expansion, we're likely to come into serious problems. So that's what saw us expanding the road. We're not just expanding, we're in sync with what Lamata is doing. So the green line, what Lamata is doing, so where the rail line will come from Marina, we are in the process of closing our cross sections to allow Lamata to also open their bids, what they want to do with the private sector funding, the PPP funding on the line for that corridor. But at least the cross section that will allow the line, the train line to come on is exactly what we are implementing in the phase 2.
Alimosho network of roads is a 1.57 kilometer semi-rigid pavement road with 250-meter deck-on-pile bridge that will provide a shorter route for motorists connecting Lasuiba, Idowu-Egba, and Baruwa community. Obasekumade Road, Igbogbo Igbe, Ibeshe, Agri-Kishawo, among other roads in Ikorodu, are also receiving attention, with some nearing completion stage.
You recollect that when we came in 2019, Agri-Kishawo was a project that we needed to take drastic action. People, you actually were showing on channels in particular, you were always showing canoe, you show the man with the canoe and then all of it. I must say, as at to date, about 52% of that project has been completed. There is no reason for delay on that project. That project has been well funded, and I'm hoping that by September, one half of the road will have been delivered. That ensures that motorists can use it, at least the entire stretch. It's a 7-kilometer long road. Coming on board, we've had to do some redesigns at about the outfall towards the bridge end. So you had issues around there. That was redesigned. And then you also had pedestrian bridges, some in place because it's a major stretch. So all of the redesign work took place when we came in. And by the time you are 52% on a project, that's almost like halfway. That tells you that you can go the entire stretch of the 7-kilometer, and pedestrians can use that while the contractor will switch over to the other side to deliver the remaining 7 kilometers. Even on the 7-kilometer side, you will see that a lot of drains, speaker stains have been done. What they're now doing is the recycling, using a Rex machine, stabilizing, and then they put the base course, the crushed stone base, and be able to lay the interlocking stone. So the people that experienced flooding, this last rainfall, if they must be honest, they will admit that it was not as bad as last year because they've opened several outfalls. The only outfall that they did not open fully was to monitor and to control the flooding that will have run off on the bank of the bridge that present work is actually going on. Ikorodu is one area that we recognize that for you to get people move out from the central part of Lagos, we needed to fix most of those roads. So it's not an accident that Agri-Kishawo is under consideration, Igbogbo is under consideration, Obashekumade is under consideration, Ijede is under consideration, Berigbe is under consideration, Bayeku is under consideration. So that's the reason why we're doing that. So Obashekumade is one road that had been done 3 times over, but we didn't address the critical problem. But this time around, we decided to solve it totally in and out. As of today, the contractor is about 93%. And by end of next month, they will be ready for commissioning. What they're doing now is just essentially to cast the last filigrane slab, the deck slab, in the remaining span, Ikorodu bound. So Igbogbo is also under consideration. Mrs. High Tech is doing that. If you go on that road, you will see at the spot, the bridge location spot, So they are right now in the bridge location spot, and they should be ready to cast any of their beams now. The bridge portion is the critical part of the work. So you want to finish that bridge section, which is the critical part, and then come on back on your roadway. So give or take, I want to be sure maybe by end of our administration that road is completed. That Ibeshe road, government will have, public works corporation will have to come in immediately so that we can keep that road in good shape. That was a road that was done less than 15 years ago. If you design a road very well, good drainage outfalls, there is no reason why that road shouldn't serve you minimum less than 25 to 30 years. If you see it less than that, it has been subjected to one form of abuse or the other. And that's exactly what Ibeshe Road is seeing right now. So as a government, we have taken that road, we take it seriously because it speaks to our intermodal, it's actually, it complements our intermodal transport agenda. If that road is good, people will be able to go on it quickly, they get to the jetty, and within 15 minutes, they can get to Victoria Island. You actually will see Victoria Island right at Ibeshe Jetty, you see Victoria Island in front of you. And that tells us that there are so many things, we can reduce congestion on the road with the use of this jetty. But we can use this jetty when the roads that approach, that go towards the jetty are done. We've done it before, it's been bastardized now, so we'll go quickly in and fix it.
The Lagos State government is again assuring residents of spreading road projects across all local government areas of the state, while also appealing to people to protect government property within their locality.
That's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Stay safe.